Welcome back, everybody, to Willie's Copper Kitchen. Today, what we're making is eggs sausage casserole. So I'm going to start by putting my butter in my skillet. Get my skillet nice and buttered there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my hash browns into the skillet that's nice and hot with the butter. I'm going to go ahead and get my seasonings out. So I've added my ingredients. I've added diced onion, garlic powder, and pepper. And I'm going to get a pinch of salt. Okay, so I'm going to cover it for about 4 minutes, no touching it. Okay, while the hash browns are cooking, I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees and let it preheat. And I'm going to go ahead and get me a skillet and I'm going to start the sausage. Okay, so today what I'm going to be using is Jimmy Dean regular pork sausage. And if you'd like it on the spicier side, then just buy the spicy pork sausage also. We like it in our, my family prefers the regular. I like spicy, but I'm outnumbered, so I use this. I'm just going to use a knife to cut that open. I'm going to take the sausage, take it out of the package, put it into the skillet. Hear that nice sizzle? I'm going to go ahead and throw this away. Wash my hands real quick since I touched that sausage. Okay, so we got the sausage in the skillet. I've washed my hands, and I'm going to go ahead and break it up now. You know, it smells so heavenly in here. Doesn't take long for that sausage to really start smelling good. And I'm frying this on a medium to medium high heat right now. Okay, so what I'm doing here today is I'm making a fast egg sausage cheese casserole. And if you wanted to do this the slow version way, which takes about an hour and a half, believe it or not, but you would shred your potatoes and then you wouldn't pre-cook them. You would put them into the casserole dish and then you would layer it like that. But you would have to cook that for about an hour or more time. So you're really cutting off some cook time by pre-cooking the hash browns because you would pre-cook the sausage anyway. Okay, so my sausage is now pretty much cooked, and it only took a few minutes. I'd say probably only 4 or 5 minutes, honestly. So when your sausage is done, then turn it down to low. You don't want to overcook your sausage. At this point, we're just keeping it warm. So I'm going to get me a spatula, and I'm going to go ahead and trade off places. I'll put my sausage over here. Go ahead and turn this down on low. Turn this one back up on medium. Smells so good in here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, this has been cooking for at least 5 minutes. I'm going to flip those hash browns over. But see how they kind of, can you guys see that? How they kind of all stick together right there? That's what you want. Nice golden brown hash browns. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it. And if you notice, every stove is different that you cook on. And if you notice that one side of your stove is cooking a little bit hotter on the skillet than the other side, especially if you're using I'm using a copper dish, and they're really, really good about dispersing the heat around evenly. But you can see on this side where the hash browns are a little bit browner than this side, so I went ahead and turned the skillet around so this side will be evenly cooked as the other side. Here's those hash browns sizzling. That's a good sign. Okay, so I have my casserole dish here, and I'm going to go ahead and butter it. Just make sure when you're using your hands that you do keep your hands nice and clean throughout the whole process. You don't want to make anybody sick or yourself. Okay, so I greased down my pan and I have it fully coated all the way around. Make sure it is, because you don't want your potatoes or any of the casserole sticking to it. There we go, see. And I'm going to go ahead and put down my first layer of hash browns. See how I have that just slightly covering the bottom there? So now I'm going to take my sausage and put a light layer of sausage on it. And try to keep it even. You want to make sure that you have, when you're eating it, you want to make sure that there's a bite of sausage in every piece that you take a bite of. So I've used about half of that sausage. I've used half of the sausage. So now we have our hash browns down, our sausage down, and now we're going to put a layer of cheese over it. You're just going to sprinkle it lightly. You're not making an omelet, so you don't have to be super cheesy. And plus, we're doing this in layers, so it's going to be plenty cheesy at the end. And like I said, if you like this spicy, you can use pepper jack cheese, any kind of cheese that you want. It's your preference. Now, I wouldn't use mozzarella or anything like that, but as far as like spice-wise, that's your choice. So now we've sprinkled it with cheese, and now we're going to go back to our hash browns. We're going to sprinkle our hash browns evenly over the casserole. Now, if you wanted to spice this up a little bit without it having to take your dish any longer to cook, like I said, you could have put a onion in this, or you could have put jalapenos in it too, because it wouldn't take any longer to cook that way. Okay, so I've added another layer of hash browns, and now I'm going to add another layer of sausage. Okay, so I've layered the casserole with the last round of sausage. And I just want to tell you a little story right here. Before I go get the eggs, and what I'm going to do is get 6 eggs, and I'm going to scramble them. But I'm going to tell you a little story right now. I made this dish around 25 years ago when I first started this job, and everybody had to vote on whose dish they liked the most. And believe it or not, it was my dish. Now, I made it a little bit differently that day. I did the long version. I added green peppers and orange peppers, and I did it with hash browns being uncooked. But like I said, when you're in a hurry and you got somewhere to go and you got a family you got to feed, get them to school and get yourself to work, this is the version you want. The long version's great. This is great too. Okay, so now I've got my eggs, and I'm going to put 6 eggs in this, but I'm going to scramble, I'm going to beat them up, whisk them up really good first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put them in this bowl. And what I'm doing is, sometimes you may get a bad egg, and you don't want to put your, it's just a good habit to get into of not putting your eggs directly into whatever you're making, just in case you get a bad egg, or you crack a shell into it. It's a lot easier to dig a shell out. Or if it is a bad egg, you can just throw it out and you don't have to worry about destroying your whole batter, whatever it is you're cooking. And it's not because I'm a bad egg sheller. See, I can do it with one hand. Fancy. So what I'm going to do now, I've inspected my eggs. I've made sure there's no eggshells in there, or there's not any bad eggs in there. So now I'm going to pour them in my bigger bowl. Okay, so now I'm going to take these eggs and I'm going to go ahead and go over the whole casserole with it, and I'm going to just beat it out just like that. Now I'm going to take my spatula, and I'm just going to kind of go down the sides like this. And why I do that is because this is sausage, so when it's cooking, there probably will be a little bit of a grease that comes to the top, and I don't want to eat grease, so it makes it easier to have the grease somewhere to pool. Okay, so I've layered it. I've done hash browns, I've done sausage, I've done cheese, I did hash browns, I did sausage, I did cheese, and then I did 6 eggs, and now I'm going to go over it one more time with another layer of cheese. I'm going to put just a little bit heavier layer of cheese on it this time. Just going to wiggle your fingers over the top of it. You don't want to press it down or anything. You just want to slightly, run it over and then just do that. So I've got it covered in cheese, and I'm still waiting for my oven to go off and let me know that it's ready to be put in the oven. So as soon as that goes off, we'll put it in the oven. Okay, so the oven's at 350, and I'm going to go ahead and put the casserole into the oven, and I'm going to set the alarm for 30 minutes. Now you'll notice I didn't put any aluminum foil or anything over it. All I'm going to do is take a cooking pan, another cooking pan, and lay over the top of it. Cover it that way. Save on aluminum foil. So while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and straighten up my kitchen, and we'll be right back. See that, ladies and gentlemen? Look at that. Nice and crispy. Nice and sizzly, I mean. Make sure you turn off your oven. Don't that look heavenly?